You should be the.
It's the 5th of January, Rabbi Furst, Pierke Avos.
Okay, good morning. This is Rabbi Furst, as we said. We're learning Pierke Avos this morning, the 5th parak, the 8th and 9th Mishnah there. If you let me share, I can put it on the screen where we're learning. Good morning, man.
Good morning.
Okay, good. Okay. Here we go on the screen.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Roy.
About to finish this document. Yeah, we did 7. We're going to be learning by 8 and 9. Okay, good. Yeah, who would like to begin to read today?
I volunteer.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, Amnam, a diver, but pestilence, Shahu, Portonos,
Perennius, a calamity.
Perennios, Haravi'i. This is the 4th calamity. Ba'al ha'mitos shalo nim saru b'beisdin. It comes on personality characteristics that cannot be judged in the Beis-Din.
Now these on mises, on death sentences that were not brought before court. There are many things that people can be obligated capital crimes, and if they're not going to be brought to court, talking about Beis-Din, Jewish Beis-Din, not going to be brought to the Jewish Beis-Din, or even that for that matter, even Mrs. B'nai Zayin, Mrs. B'nai Noach. One of their mitzvahs is that they're supposed to have bati din. The goyim are supposed to have legal systems, and they're supposed to judge their own cases as well. That's one of the reasons given why Shimon and Levi could wipe out the city of Shechem. The Rishonim asked the question, and they answered the question. They said, "What did the people of Shechem do?" After all, Shechem and his father Hamor were accomplices to the kidnapping of Dinah, right? In effect, Dinah was kidnapped, and the question is, if Shechem and his father Hamor were obligated in that sin for death, right? For death, but why did the whole city get wiped out? What reason was there to obligate the whole city? The whole city was destroyed, and all the men were killed. What did they do wrong? So they answer that B'nai Noach are responsible to see that the laws they're responsible to keep, and that's primarily the 7 mitzvahs B'nai Noach, and actually there are more than 7. 7 is really basic categories, but there, at least the Gemara mentions that there are at least 30, if not more, mitzvahs that B'nai Noach are obligated to keep, and if they're not going to keep those laws, then they themselves, the non-Jews, have to enforce those laws through punishments, primarily Misa. And since the city of Shechem did not prosecute Hamor and Shechem for the kidnapping of Dinah, so they were all obligated to die because of that lack of justice. So here we see when there are certain laws that are supposed to be enforced, this is based in, and they're not going to be enforced. So that means that the general population is going to suffer. Not only will the people who are obligated in Mises based in are going to suffer, but primarily the ones that they're going to suffer because it brings pestilence, right? Brings dever, which can affect the general population, the general situation in society, the economy, whatever else might be affected. by the pestilence. So it's going to be, because it's not just the people that are doing the crime, but it's the lack of enforcement of the laws that they're obligated to prosecute and punish those people who are doing the crimes which are obligated in this particular case, the Chayav Mises pasted. Okay, let's continue on.
Let's see. Vehem Hamisa V'Yedei Shemaim V'Hakares. These are the death and spiritual excision. He kasher Yischayiv al hamitot hallelujah. Since when they're obligated to this death, Yavi Hashem Isbarach. Hashem brings Alehem Hadever Lehotzi'am the Olam. Hashem brings on them pestilence to take them out of the world. V'chein al peiros shavis. And thus, concerning the produce of the Shemitah year, the Haim Peiros Shanat Eliezer, I'm going to mute you.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
They are the produce of the year of Shemitah. Shehem la'aniim, therefore the poor people. I'm sorry.
Ma'akev osem biado, someone who withholds them and keeps them to himself.
Acharei Hasman, after some time, shechayiv the va'arav min habayis. He's obligated to remove them from the house. I'm sorry, nischayiv b'makas hadever, and he becomes obligated under the plague of pestilence. Ki chol ochel titav nafsho v'hi mida keneged mida. Because all eating is pleasant to the person, and this is measure for measure.
Right, very good. So that also comes the dever comes also because of the withholding of the parish feast. That they're supposed to go to the aniyim, and the aniyim are going to suffer, and for the lack of observing the parish feast, which is primarily in order to let the poor people have food to eat, then everyone needs to suffer through the pestilence that Akash Baruch Hu brings on the world, the Mida Keneged Mida. Okay, very good. Let's see 9.
Ba'amnam hacherev. But I'm sorry. Amnam was.
However, I'm usually with. However, usually Amnam's
However, the sword. I guess it means here in this context. It means regarding the sword.
Yeah, exactly right.
Shehu haparonios hahe. This is the 5th calamity. Hine hu ba al Anyoi,
Inui Hadin. Inui Hadin.
Inui Hadin. And this comes concerning Inui Hadin, something of judgment.
Right, that's really basically a corruption or a distortion of justice.
So the sword comes as a result of a corruption of justice. Vehu hayos hadayin mishahe es hadin ha brur etzlo. And it is still
it is that the Dayan has the din habur etzla. I mean, he knows the proper judgment. He has clear the judgment in this case. He's not in doubtful. Sometimes you can have a judge for some reason that it's not clear, that maybe the facts of the case are not clear, or the actual way to determine the halacha is not clear. So therefore, there could be some type of corruption of adjustments in a way that's not due to negligence or intention, right? So, but here we're talking about where the actual law and judgment is clear to the judge. He knows what the clear judgment is in this case, and nevertheless he corrupts it. He makes a verdict which he knows is wrong, and that's the Inui Adin over here.
Who owed gadol?
Avon gadol. It's a tremendous sin.
Oh, avon, sin. This is a tremendous sin. V'chol sheken avos hadin. And more so, it's a sin in justice.
No, avos meaning it's to actually distort the din. It's a kol sheken if he's going to actually distort the din, the halacha.
V'hu hayoso mita mishpat shelo kedin. And this is a death, a just death.
No. V'hu hayoso mata mishpat shelo kedin. He's mata, meaning he literally means to turn. He turns the mishpat. He turns the verdict not according to the law. So he's deciding the verdict not according to law.
Shelo kedin, not according to the law. V'chein al ha-mo'orim b'Torah shelo kehalacha, and thus, what is ha-mo'orim?
To teach, he's teaching Torah, which is not according to the halacha.
Shechol ele asa hadayan b'chuzak yad neged hachalashim v'hadalik v'hadalim she'ein lo'el yadam b'davar neged hadayanim. So it's all of these actions of a judge with strength.
Yeah, shekol eila also adayim b'chozek yad. Anything that a judge is going to do by coercing those chalashim that are weak, or dalim those who are poor.
Coercing. Neged. I see. Corresponding to those who are weak.
It's going to be against. The judge is going to use coercion against those who are weak and poor.
V'hadalim she'ein lakel, that they're not.
She'ein la'el yadayim l'davar neged adanim. That the weak and the poor, they don't have any ability to go against the judges. They have no leverage to use to fight against these judges who are coercing them into things by using the law to their disadvantage.
Hine Hashem Yati.
Yes, but Hashem is Barak Yabi Aleihim Cherib, Nokmas Nekam Breeze.
Okay, so Hashem be blessed, brings upon them the sword, Nokmas Nakam Baris. Baris is the covenant. What is Nokmas?
Nokmas Nikam, he'll be vengeful. He'll be vengeful to take vengeance for the bris, the covenant, for the sake of the covenant.
Mida keneged mida, measure for measure. She bekuzak yad, that through the strength of his hand, Yagir Shum may artsam. What's Yagir Shum?
From the word from Garusha, Megarish, they'll be thrust out from the land. They'll go into gullus.
They'll be divorced from the land. Tachas hayo sam Haim misgavrim bechuzak yad. Tachas is underneath.
Right. We're in place of.
In place of. What is hayosam?
Takas hayosam haim misgabrim b'chozik yal. Because of them, that's a reference to the judges, because the judges are misgabrim. They are abusing b'chozik yad with strength the aniyim and avyonim, the poor people and the destitute people. The inui hamishpat va'avoso, through the corruption and the distortion of the law.
Vayosam morim b'Torah shelo kahalacha. And they're teaching the Torah not according to halacha. V'chein ha'am hamikaimim aleihem dinam ke'elu ke'ila, and and they establish upon themselves these laws.
Right, v'chein ha'am, meaning it's the vengeance is not going to just be taken against the judges, right? But v'chein ha'am, also the people, that they are mekayimim aleim dinim keilah, they are supporting such judges. The corruption of justice through the actual verdicts of the judges who are giving verdicts not according to Torah law, not according to the halacha, and the judges themselves will be punished for their sin, and also the people that are supporting these judges will also be punished as well.
Yashtitafu gam heim beparonios hahu. What is yishtatfu?
That because the people are supporting these judges, shishtatfu gam heim beparonios, they also join in. The people also, the general public also joins in to these parani, these calamities. These calamities are not just singularly directed against the judges who are the people who are actually doing the distortion of the law, but the people who support such judges are also going to be involved with the calamities that befall the nation that allows a legal system which is not based on Torah law, and the judges are not posking according to the truth of the halacha.
Liosam machzikim yadei ovrei avera. They are through the strength of their hands violating committing sins.
Yeah, they're strengthening those who are committing sins. Exactly.
Where is this?
Excuse me.
Where is this? Generally, or
yeah, generally wherever such a situation exists, of course. Yeah. Wherever, and again, as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be just with the Jewish law. It could be the Zion mitzvahs b'nei Noach, right? The non-Jews are obligated to keep their Zion mitzvahs b'nei Noach, whether they want to or not. And one of the 7 mitzvahs b'nei Noach is that they have to have legal systems, and their legal systems should function honestly, right? So this could be. It's certainly specific to the Jews, and it's most likely, I would say, also relevant to the non-Jews as well.
thank you.
Okay, fine, all right. That brings, I think that's the end of this document. I'll tell you, so maybe we'll go further. We'll go further with the Mishnayos. Let me just see if I can bring the Mishnayos up onto the screen. We'll go further to the next Mishnah. If you have it there, maybe you want to read it. Anyone has it there?
Not the man. Pierke, what? 5, 6 is it?
5.
Or
5, right? 5.
Pierke 5. That's 4. Let's do 4. Oh, 5 is all.
I'll try and put it on the screen in a moment and get hold of it.
Oh, what am I doing? That's Pierke 4.
Hold on.
Oh, that's another book, another volume. Oh, All right. Excuse me, I've got to get.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up here. I'll zoom in a moment. Uh, oh, here we are. Okay, it should come up on this in a minute. We'll have a translation on this as well. Wonderful. Okay, there we are. You should be able to see on your screen. If you don't have it in your Mishnayos, again, it's the 5th parak. Should be, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the 10th Mishnah. Sometimes the Mishnayos are not exactly ordered the same from one version of what you might be working with to a next. But this is in mine. It's considered to be the 10th Mishnah. Arba midas ba'adam. Yeah, let's continue on. We'll look at the Mishnayos here, and then next week I'll have some more deep commentaries to understand the background of what we're learning here. Yeah, go ahead then.
Arba midos ba'adam. There are 4 characteristics of a person. Ha'omer shali shali. He says, what is mine is mine. V'shelcha shelach. And what is yours is yours.
Shalach, shalach.
Right. Yep. Shali shali shelcha shalach. Right. And be careful with the chaf, Sophie. Shelcha, what's yours, shalach is yours. The first mida is person says shali shali, what's mine is mine. Okay, that's very good. Mine is mine. B'shelcha shalach, and what's yours is yours. Right.
Okay, Zo midas beinonim. This is the characteristic of the in-between.
Right, that's
The
That's
average. I think the average is better.
yeah,
Is a better
average.
gauge.
That's average, right? Average, right?
V'yesh omrim zo midas Sodom. And those who say this are of the like the people of Sodom.
Right,
There are those who say this is the midas of Sodom.
right. So it's a machlokas. First opinion is this is average behavior, right? This is average behavior, and the other opinion says no. This is midas Sodom. This is what the Sodom functioned under this philosophy. So
Shali shelcha. What is mine is yours. V'shelcha shali, and what is yours is mine. Am haaretz. This is an ignorant view.
no one really believes this, right? No one really believes what mine is mine, what mine is yours is, and yours is mine, right? It's
Right, doesn't make any sense.
doesn't make sense.
Shali shelcha. What is mine is yours. V'shelcha shelcha, and what is yours. Chasid. This is the chasid, the good way.
Well, as they say here, a pious person, a righteous person, someone who's devout. That's someone who's on a high level of ruchnius. Person has a high level of ruchnius. So shali shalcha, what is mine is yours. V'shalcha shalach, and what's yours is yours. I mean, I'm willing to give to you what you need from what I have of my own, and I don't really want to take from you.
Shali, what's mine is mine. V'shelcha shali, and what's yours is mine. Russia. This is wickedness.
Right, so I'm keeping what's mine, and what yours, I want, what you belongs to you, I want for myself. So that's a wicked person. So so maybe let's for a moment just try to contrast. According to the second opinion, when the first of the four groups that it said in the case where shali v'shalcha shalach, what's mine and mine is yours. That's according to the second opinion, midas Sodom, right? Midas Sodom. So how is that different? Is that better or worse than the Russia, the wicked person, the Russia that he says shali, right? V'shalcha shali. So.
Well, it's hard for me to understand in the first place how they can say this is midas Sodom, because what's mine is mine, what's yours is yours. That's basically capitalism. That's basically the way the Western world runs. It seems like it's a pretty good system.
Well, I mean, the kavana here is like this, that why is it midas Sodom? From what we know of Sodom was a place where it was forbidden to do chesed. It's also to do any. You couldn't have hachdos orchim. You couldn't invite people to your houses if they needed a place to stay. You couldn't give tzedakah, right? They made it a capital offense to give tzedakah in Sodom, right? Because they understood that shali, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is yours, and you're not going to get anything of mine, right? You're not going to get anything of mine. So that led to their own destruction. That was such a corrupt way of life that it eventually forced them that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had to destroy them. Right? So
well, to say what's yours is yours.
But
I
there
don't
is
think that's saying that you're going to take from them.
there's a goal in society of cooperation among individuals. By saying what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours, saying I don't have anything to do with you. I'm not going to share with you, and you're not going to share with me. I'm building a wall between us, and that's not necessarily the goal of civilization or community. And I think that's why it's not considered a good. They consider it a midas Sodom.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you look at what the chassid. The chassid is shali shalach, v'shalcha shalach. Right. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is yours. Meaning, so that's in the contrast to the first, right? The first one, shali shalach. So the second part is the same, right? What's yours is yours. Both the midas Sodom and the midas chassid is what's yours is yours. What's yours is yours. You keep what you have is yours is yours is yours. But what's the difference? That by midas Sodom, shali, mine is mine. I mean, whatever I have sticks with me. Mine, it's not going to go out to anybody. But mine is mine. Mine stays with me. And the chassid is completely opposite. What mine is yours, meaning he is willing to give. He's willing to give. Right? So the essential difference is in the giving. By the chassid, he's willing to give. By midas Sodom, or according to the first opinion there, the midas Beinoni, right? He's not willing to give. So the midas Sodom, that by preventing and disallowing the giving from one person to the next, right? Like as Eliezer Tzvi suggested, that's the basis of civilization. The basis of human beings living together is that they work together. That one person is willing and able to help the other person for their mutual benefit, right? So when it comes to a situation where the selfishness is so established and institutionalized selfishness, as we saw in Sodom, only led to their destruction. The world, that's the beginning of toward the beginning of the first Pierke in Avos, we learned, right? Al Shlosha Hadavarim Olam Omed, on three things the world stands. Torah, Avoda, V'Gilul Chasadim. You have to have Torah in the world for it to exist. You have to have Avoda, meaning either Korbanos in the time of the Beis Hamikdash or davening, prayer, for the world to exist. And Gilul Chasadim, you have to have that there's a positive exchange between people for their mutual benefit. Or even sometimes it's not even from, even if it's just even if the benefit's only going one way, right? But nevertheless, you need to have that for the world to exist. Kadosh Baruch Hu created the world that it should have these, that he wanted Kadosh Baruch Hu a world where these three things could exist, that Torah should exist, Avodah should exist, and Gemilas Chasadim should exist. So therefore, based on that, he created the world as it is. Some people poorer, some people richer. And there's the Ramchal in his Sefer Derech Hashem says, right? In Derech Hashem, the Ramchal says that the wisdom of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in blessing certain people with poverty and blessing other people with riches is that the poor people are tested, that in spite of their positive poverty, they see that HaKadosh Baruch Hu still nevertheless doesn't let them be completely destitute and starve to death. They do find their parnasa, even though it may be difficult to get their parnasa, but they do find their parnasa in one way or the other. And also the poor people are blessed in order that the rich people can be given a test to see if they're going to help the poor people. If there were no poor people, the rich people wouldn't have a test about helping out with their excess money. Many people who are wealthy have much more wealth, money, and resources that they'll ever use in their life, right? The richest people, they're only able to sleep in one bed at a time, right? They're only able to wear one pair of shoe at a time, right? That they're, even if they want to eat with two forks, so they can eat with two forks, but they would have a hard time if they would want to put the food in their mouth with two forks at the same time. So they're essentially just like the poorest of the poor people. Poorest of the poor people. Maybe they don't have shoes, but maybe they don't have a bed, but there's not that much difference. A rich person can only sleep in one bed, and a poor person, if he doesn't have a bed, so he's only lacking a bed. So what's the difference between the rich person and the poor person? One bed, right? One bed difference, that's all. And with all that extra wealth and resources, the rich people are tested that they're going to use their excess wealth and resources for the benefit of the people that don't have it. And yes, if they do, they'll be privileged to get a reward for their kindness and generosity, and if not, they'll be punished for being selfish. But we'll get to see more about this as I'll bring some information on this next week. I'll send out an email in the next few days, and we'll see some explanations about these things. In any event, let's stop here. We'll take a short break till the Mr. Bruce here in a few minutes, and hope to see you all soon, Mitzvah Shem.
Thank you,
All right,
Rabbi.
very good.
Very good. Roy, have a good afternoon.